Wow, Luis King Kong Ortiz just knocked out Bryant Jennings in the seventh round. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Well, all I can say is I'm gonna say this one. I said this once and I'm gonna say this once again. The heavyweight division is back. I mean, god damn it, we just saw another great fight in the heavyweight division tonight. I mean, these two were going at it back and forth from the first round up to the seventh. All right, let me break it down for you. In the first round, Luis Ortiz was, as I mentioned in my pre-fight video, that the only way for him to win this fight, he's going to have to control his distance, use that right jab like he did all night long. Because I'm telling you, he'd be putting snapping in that right jab, using that right jab, then follow up with the left. He did that early on in the fight, in the first round, I should say. And then in the second round, Bryant Jennings, as I said in my pre-fight video, he had to nullify that jab. He had to come inside and throw some combinations and some uppercuts, which he did in the second round. That really got Luis Ortiz's attention when he threw that vicious uppercut. Really had him go back a little bit in the second round. So I definitely give that round to Jennings. Now in the third round, it was a little bit back and forth. A lot of inside fighting because, again, Jennings' best weapon is inside punch combinations and then lead with uppercuts, whatnot. And let's not that fool you because Ortiz is also a great inside fighter as well because he was also throwing some good uppercuts. He was throwing some good body shots to the inside, but a lot of back and forth. But I have to give that round to Ortiz. Now, in the fourth round, Bryant Jennings started to come back a little bit, throw some inside fighting. When I start to have Ortiz back up a little bit because Ortiz realized that he couldn't really get him out of there by trying to pressure him a little bit because as you can see when Ortiz was trying to pressure Brian Jennings, he was setting him up for a good inside uppercut for coming in. So I'll definitely give that round. I mean, it was a back and forth round. I can score it even, but if you want it, I know Letterman scored that round for Jennings, for Ortiz, but I wanted to give that to Jennings because I thought he was a little more effective in that round. All right, now round six. This is where Luis Ortiz really started to use his boxing ability. As you can see, he started to box at angles against Jennings. He realized he couldn't give him a chance for going in the inside. He moved to his right, so that way that would force Jennings to move to his right because when you fight a southpaw, you have to move to your left. So that way you can disrupt his timing, especially if Ortiz is trying to flicker with that right jab. But he can't have a chance to throw that left body shot or the left uppercut. But in the fifth round, I forgot to before I go any further, I forgot to mention the fifth round. Ortiz hit Jennings with a vicious uppercut, and I'm surprised that Jennings took that because any normal fighter would have went down on that. He took it very well. He absorbed it. He was stunned, but he came back. He started fighting ferociously. So I got to give him credit for that. That was a lot of heart right there. So again, the sixth round, Ortiz started to control the action by moving to his right, move on his toe, start flicking the jab, start throwing punches from the outside, and again, he has a very, very good long reach. So he started to use that to his advantage. And then to the seventh round, oh man, he caught Jennings with a vicious uppercut, and that knocked him to the ground. I thought Jennings was out, but he did get up. He wanted to continue, but obviously he was extremely hurt from there. He took another crunching right, and the referee had to stop the fight. And I know Jennings is upset because he didn't want that fight to be stopped, but honestly, he was out, and he could have got hurt very, very badly if that were to go on. But, now I have to say kudos to both fighters, man. They put on a great show. I mean, they gave the fans their money's worth. Again, I have to say the heavyweight division is back. Another great night for boxing, and I'm glad to see things like this. And I mentioned in one of the commenters about the heavyweight division. I understand there's a lot of divas in the division. I know Deontay Wilder is starting to act like a diva. So is not exactly Sars Glaskov himself, but his promoter Kathy Duva. Well, she's always been a diva. But the thing about the heavyweight division is that you cannot use catch weights or rehydration clauses to get fights made. It's either you're going to fight the guy who's smaller than you or you're going to fight a guy that outweighs you by 20 or 40 pounds. And clearly Jennings was outweighed by, I know the weigh-in for Ortiz came in at 240, but I think he looked a little bigger than that in my opinion. But it is what it is. But obviously, he was outweighed by 10, 15 pounds. But other than that, great fight by both men. Another great night for boxing, in my opinion. And I have to say, hats off to Luis King Kong Ortiz for retaining his interim title. So where does he go from here? I know definitely. I think what's going to happen now is that he's going to have to await the winner of the Ruzla and Jagaya fight versus Lucas Brown, Big Daddy Brown, and that fight is set to take place in March. So for the regular WBA title. So obviously, I think that Ortiz will beat either one of those guys. So whoever the winner is, they're going to have to go up against King Kong Ortiz, and it ain't going to be pretty. I'll tell you that right now. But I do hope that Lucas Brown win that fight because that would be a damn good fight. It'll be all-out war. I'll tell you that right now if that fight gets made. Now, I know Tyson Fury is the WBA super champion, so, I mean, that would be a definitely interesting fight, too. And I think that would be a very, very tough fight for Ortiz because he hasn't really fought anybody that has a very long reach, who weighs more than him and who's a lot taller than him. So, no disrespect to him. He hasn't really fought anybody that size. He's been fighting a lot of smaller men. So, we'll see. We'll see what things how things progress in the later months. And now as for Bryant Jennings, great effort. He will slide down in the rankings, but not too much. He'll probably slide down slightly, but he'll definitely be back. So, again, great night, great fight between the two. Well, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Signing off. Share, subscribe. Peace.